Hey guys, welcome back. So there's this company that's been around for a while called Legendary, and they've made quite a few Godzilla and Kong movies. They've even made two Godzilla at Kong movies. So I thought it would be a nice idea to rank all five of these movies. They have made 5 movies in 10 years. So that's almost like a movie every 2 years. Nice. One thing I like about their movies is that they're pretty much all very, very high quality. Um, Now that doesn't always mean the story is high quality, but like the way it looks, referencing Marvel. So yeah, I think it's about time we start ranking all five of these movies, and I think since there's now five and Godzilla X Kong is just out, there will be spoilers in this video, so if you haven't seen the movie, then you probably don't want to watch this. You maybe want to wait to see the movie to watch this. But anyway, let's get right into the video. And at number 5 and 5th place for the worst spot, I have Godzilla King of the Godzilla King of the Monsters. Now I know this is a very, very controversial opinion, but I just don't like Godzilla King of the Monsters as much as other people did. I really don't understand how so many YouTubers put Godzilla King of the Monsters at the number 1 spot. Like, really? There were so many things in this movie that I did not like, and I'm going to go over those. Actually, let's start with the positives. I like how the baby in the first Godzilla movie, Madison Russell, is actually now like a teenager in this movie. And the thing I like about Godzilla is that they changed his dorsal plates to match the 1954 Godzilla. And that's about where the positives stop. I'm not kidding. Okay, actually, that's not where the positives stop. It really does look nice. The CGI is well done. And the monster fights are pretty good. And I like how this woman, Emma Russell, aka Madison Russell's mom, is trying to bring balance and trying to restore nature as it once was. Wow, that actually sounds like a very good character, right? Wrong. This woman does everything all wrong in the movie. Like, there's a scene where they have to release Rodan, but he's in Mexico, but they have to let the city evacuate. Like, they couldn't wait, I don't know, 12 more hours for everyone to evacuate. They just had to let Rodan loose and kill mass amounts of people for no reason. Like, seriously? And she's just very unlikable throughout the whole movie, and she does everything all wrong, and even Madison doesn't like it. But then, eventually, you start to like her for a little bit eventually in the movie. You think, maybe she's not so bad after all. And what does she do? She does a dumb sacrifice. What does she do? She just sacrifices herself by driving off with the Orca, which is a little machine for the movie, to talk to the Titans. She just drives off with it and with no reason, when she could have just gotten with a helicopter with the other people. Even Madison was crying and super upset. The one time you could probably like her for a little bit, she just ruins everything. I am very glad that she will never again be in any of the other Monsterverse movies. In this flying piece of beef jerky, I don't know about Rodan. He just seemed annoying. He didn't really seem like a good villain, like side villain. He was just annoying. And the main villain, Alan Jonah, I felt he was just kind of weak. I'm sorry, everyone. But for me, Godzilla King of the Monsters was just a very disappointing movie. Speaking of dumb sacrifices, here we have Serizawa. And he sacrificed himself by putting a nuke down at Godzilla to help restore him, when he really could have just dropped it off through the submarine and then just fled. But no, you gotta have him and his wife die for no reason, because Godzilla 1954 had Serizawa die, and it's the 65th anniversary of Godzilla, and you gotta get rid of Serizawa. We gotta save money for our actors. He was like the best character, honestly, and they had to get rid of him. Anyway, Godzilla King of the Monsters, just not so good. I don't know how everyone else thinks it's, like, sure, there are some pretty good parts of it, like, it's like a 5, probably even a 4.8 out of 10 for me. I just don't understand how people really like it. I'm sorry. And at the number 4 spot, we have Kong Skull Island. Alright, this is where the movies actually start to get pretty good. I know. All of you guys are pointing out, hey, Godzilla King of the Monsters and Kong Skull Island were the best in the Monsterverse, and you're putting them at the worst? I'm sorry, I know, a lot of people like the Kong Skull Island movies and the Godzilla King of the Monster movies. But let's look at these movies. I'm really ranking these on how much I enjoy them / plot. More so, I enjoyed them more than the plot, but seriously, let's look at the plots. Does the plot of Godzilla King of the Monsters sound pretty good? It's meh. Does the Kong Skull Island plot sound very good? Yeah, it does, actually. And Kong Skull Island is seriously like a pretty good movie. I really like the way they designed Kong. I think he's also definitely a great character in this movie. And forget about that guy in just a little bit. This guy, the Skullcrawler, was a great villain, I'm gonna say. But unfortunately, this movie suffers with dumb sacrifice syndrome, kind of like Godzilla King of the Monsters. Like, seriously, Cole's sacrifice was one of the dumbest things ever. But yeah, I really like the Kong design. And pretty much, I think it's just a really good movie. Some guys are coming over to explore this island called Skull Island, and none of any other explorer has came back from it. There's a whole lot of monsters in Skull Island. Like, a whole lot. Including these little gremlins, which are super, super annoying. So yeah, pretty good cast, too. And at number 3, with the bronze medal, well, I guess it doesn't really matter since there's 5 movies, but anyway, number 3, I have Godzilla! Oh, not that one. No. Godzilla! Oh, actually, that one's pretty good. I'm serious. There we go, Godzilla 2014. This movie was dark. Not in a metaphorical way. Seriously. I feel bad for the people who watched it in movie theaters. I could not see a thing. It was super dark. But the story is actually pretty good. I mean, I like the Mutos of completely new little characters, or monsters, is what I meant. Yeah, this was to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Godzilla, and America got the dibs on that. America got to celebrate Godzilla's 60th, 65th, and 70th anniversary. Japan, what are you doing? Anyway, this is just a very good movie. I don't understand why people are putting it so low. It's very good. It's very underrated. Mark Russell, he's actually a pretty good character. Yeah, this movie, it was just really good, and I definitely recommend it. It is a great start to the Monsterverse. Unfortunately, its sequel was not as good at all. But I also really like this design of Godzilla. It's very nice and unique. People said it was too chubby. If you think that this design is too chunky and chubby and fat, look at Shin Godzilla Japan. Look at your own creations. Look at the Godzilla in King Kong vs. Godzilla 1962. Look at your designs. How can you fat shame this one? But anyway, yep, that's Godzilla. And at number 2, with the silver medal, we have King Kong vs. Godzilla. Oh, wrong one again. Gosh, what is happening? Godzilla vs. Kong. Guys, you gotta come up with more creative names. Well, at least this one wasn't just a copy and paste on the name. It was actually flipped. Instead of King Kong vs. Godzilla, it's Godzilla vs. Kong. But anyway, the first versus in Legendary Monsterverse. What? It only took 4 movies? It took 3 movies with the regular Godzilla. Actually, technically, it did take 4, so... No, it took 3. No, it did take 4. Sorry, just forget what I just said. Anyway, the posters on this movie were great. And it was just a very entertaining movie. It was actually really good. And I really liked how Mechagodzilla was in it. You've got Godzilla and Kong, and it turns out their species fought a very, very long time ago. That is very interesting. And Kong gets a new axe. He gets Stormbreaker. He gets an axe in this movie. and Godzilla comes up and he actually kind of destroys Kong, but then Mechagodzilla comes along and destroys Godzilla, and Godzilla realizes that he needs Kong to beat Godzilla, and I mean to beat Mechagodzilla, and it's just very entertaining and nice. And I even like the parts with Madison Russell. She's now an adult, I think, in college with her friend Josh and a new guy, Bernie. Well, both those guys are new, but Bernie is definitely the highlight of this movie. And there's also a little girl, Gia, who can do sign language to Kong. And it's all very nice, a very nice movie. This was actually the first one I ever watched. I know, but it's the first one I ever watched, and I really liked it. And honestly, it's because of this movie. I saw a trailer for this movie, and I thought it was crazy. I had no interest in Godzilla or Kong at the time, but I thought it was crazy that they were putting two of the biggest movie monsters of all time, King Kong and Godzilla, against each other. Like, how crazy is that? I didn't know they did it a long time ago. But still, that's what got me into this, and that's why I am Levi's L9 today. But yeah, this movie was just, above all, very great. The one thing I didn't like about it is how Ren Serizawa, Dr. Serizawa's son, he was just more there and didn't really add much to the story, and he just dies really quickly. So yeah, Serizawa family, they're gone. They come, they're there, they leave. Anyway, yeah, there you go, Godzilla vs. Kong. And at number 1, you probably already know this one, with the golden medal, I think that the best Legendary Monsterverse movie is Chuck Norris! Okay, in all seriousness, Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire. One thing I don't like about it is that the posters are very weak. They don't have good posters at all, really. This one's just meh. But still, I really like the idea of Godzilla and Kong, kind of working together as a team. And it's a very, very good movie. It's a 10 out of 10, seriously. Actually, probably more of a 9.9 out of 10. There is some very obvious plot convenience that I did not like. Like, Kong gets his hand frostbite bitten, and they're like, oh yeah, we have this glove pre-made for him, and they just put it on. But still, other than that, so what happens in the movie is, so Kong, he gets a new tooth. That's not exactly important to the story, but he goes down into the Hollow Earth as usual, and then he finds out that there's actually more Kongs like him. Throughout the entire Monsterverse, we were under the impression that Kong was the last of his kind, and it was pretty much proved in Godzilla vs. Kong when Kong goes down the Hollow Earth and finds that none of his kind are down there, and he realizes that he's all alone. And then in this movie, you have new Kongs, which is really cool. And Godzilla evolves in this new movie. Something that I don't think a lot of people realize is that unless he evolves again, Godzilla is going to stay like this pink and black charcoal color for the whole Monsterverse, like the rest of it. And you even get to see Godzilla chilling in the Coliseum. That's his new home. I love it. But still, the pink on him looks pretty good. I prefer the blue, but the pink still is nice. And the villain, Scar King, is, without a doubt, one of the greatest villains, if not the greatest villains, in all of the Legendary. I said it. I know he's kind of weak when you really think about it, but that's cool. He's manipulative, and that's really his weakness, and that's really cool. I really like his whip slash, too, and how careful he is with it. And Shimo, that new monster, and yes, it's Shimo, it's a girl, and it's ice. It's not Shimo, it's not a boy, and it's not Fire Breath. Toy reviewers. Anyway, Shimo is just huge. I wonder what kind of kaiju Shimo is like considered. And Shimo is just a very cool new monster. We also got a little Kong called Suko, not really Kong Song. And we get to see Doug for a little bit, which is neat. But yeah, Scar King was a great villain. Oh, and Kong also gets the Infinity Gauntlet. Beast Glove. That's right. It's not Stormbreaker. It's not the Infinity Gauntlet. Definitely not. It's an axe and a Beast Glove. Next, he's gonna get Captain America's... He's going to get Monarch tech. Anyway, yeah, that was my ranking for the Godzilla vs. Kong movies, or like the Godzilla and Kong legendary movies. I know a lot of people didn't exactly like Godzilla x Kong, but I really liked it. The girl Gia reappears, and Bernie appears. It's great. One thing I didn't like about this movie is that it didn't include Madison Russell. Like, that was pretty confusing. Madison Russell is not in this movie, and she probably should have been in like a post-credit scene, but still, the movie just kind of was felt missing without her, but it's still a really great movie. I highly recommend you watch it if you haven't already. Actually, you probably wouldn't, because I just spoiled the whole thing for you. But anyway, yeah, that's my rankings. Go ahead, scream at the camera, all you Godzilla King of the Monsters enthusiasts. You can hate on this video all you want. I am not changing my opinions. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. And tell me if you want to see more videos like this, like the vertical rankings and stuff, in an upcoming poll on my channel.